Look who's behind me, because we've just finished our premium sedan comparison test, Audi A4 versus Mercedes C-Class versus BMW 3 Series. Then I got a call from Italy. It was the Giulia calling me and say like, hey, I've just been facelifted. Please review me and tell me, can I compete with the Germans, or am I even better? We'll find out here with Thomas Gefühl in 4K, full screen, full length, with the Alpha Giulia facelift with a beautiful new paint here. It's moonlight grey matte, a matte color, some kind of a light silver, bluish tone, really beautiful. And yeah, you can see the Italian beauty. That's the theme of the Alpha Giulia. Probably the most beautiful car in that segment, is it? Tell me in the comments. You can see here this classic design, the so-called tree logo with the front grille and the two elements in the lower part with the air intakes. The whole thing then they call tree logo. New headlamps with daytime running light. You can see this 3-element daytime running light like in the Alfa Tonale. New small or compact SUV by Alfa, and this is also a citation of past Alfa models. And the whole headlamp unit is now adaptive matrix LED. Finally, they go for that one, and it's also standard equipment, but there's more. The length at 4.64 m or 183 inches, that's a little bit shorter than the competition models. And you can see here blacked out window frames. This is special to the Competizioni model, the high trim level here in the facelift compared to Estrema in the US. You can see also the new Competizioni badging here. And the black mirror caps, they always come with every Giulia model. Here we also have 19-inch wheels in a beautiful, very open design. We've seen it over the years also with Alfa Romeo, and here also with the contrasting brake calipers in red. Really beautiful. Yeah, beauty is not a problem at all for this vehicle. Also here with the very strong hip area. Technology-wise, either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, then standard in Germany. When you have all-wheel drive model, still a rear-wheel bias in the system. And the Q2 system means this is also a rear differential lock starting from the Veloce model, so you can get out of the corners even better. A timeless design for the rear, very consistent design lines, and new tail lamps here for the facelift, updated design and also transparent covers. So before it had this red tinting, now clear look through the new signature. Very cool. In the lower part, it's like a diffuser style. And is that a case for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police? Well, the rear ones are visible on the inside, and this outer tip around. Under the hood, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder, 280 horsepower. That means just over 5 seconds in the acceleration figure as all-wheel drive. That is standard in Germany. In the US, you can also get the rear-wheel drive version. And then there's also 2.2-liter diesel, depending on the market, and the 2.9-liter quadrifoglio version from that V6. There will also be specific updates for that. Coming on later, we'll keep you updated. And in 2026, there will be the new Giulia generation, all electric then, both for the normal and the quadrifoglio version if you stay subscribed. Yes, of course, also until 2026 and forthcoming years. Then you also know the new updates right there. The key fob here is a nice, beautiful detail, but overall a little too thick for an elegant, sporty brand, I would say. Or what do you think? Then the door closing sound. Not too bad, but also not superb, something in between, I would actually say. And then here inside of the doors, this seems quite good from the quality. Also here, some galvanized parties at the tip of the wing levers, and also a classic control for the side mirrors. That's good and easy to have. Then the interior, you can hear the facelift with the red contour stitches, the start-stop button at the steering wheel, cruise control here, everything real buttons. The quality here is also something in between, I would say, but here the big shifting pedals, that's a cool feature, definitely always. Pro and con in this interior, what I love is the general styling. Here with the central line and everything clean, screen integrated, and still manual climate control. Con is the infotainment unit, which is super slow, really old school, and look at that, the visualization also, when you take a look inside the map, for example, it looks like there's like a filter on the screen, which makes it less brilliant. It's really weird. And at least you can also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration. That's the only thing you will use with this infotainment system, but there also, look how, not clear the display is. Yeah, but usually you will use this, and that's about it. Let's listen to the Harman Kardon sound system. Well, not too convinced by the sound, I have to say honestly. And what I've just done, I have reset all the equalizer features, because do you know these people that just do like this and then put all the bass all in the vehicle? That doesn't really improve the sound, I think. And you see here in the infotainment system, it's really a struggle to reset it again. Oh, and we have to talk about the rear view camera. Seriously? Come on. Yeah, you can't offer this in a car that is also at 70,000 euros as it stands here. Middle console, USB charger here, adaptive cup holders, enough space, it's really good. And also a proper shifting lever, so I dislike the vehicles which make it all the way flat. A sporty vehicle needs a real shifting lever, even if it's automatic, doesn't it? What do you think? Then here is the lever to activate the stiffer suspension if you have the adaptive suspension, which is here in this top trim model. And here dynamic mode, this would be the neutral mode or the advanced efficiency mode. What I do like is you can still use this control lever here to control the infotainment system while driving. And then we have here this armrest, could be a little bit better attached. When we open it, we have inductive charging back underneath, and that you can also put your smartphone here, then USB-A or USB-C connector. Digital instruments, really beautiful. These are all new 12.3 inch, and look at that here, how they are basically curved in this goggle design, also classic Alfa Romeo element, beautiful. And then here you can see also the facelifted daytime running light as this signature. Then we turn on the engine. Then we have this new visualization on the right side. Jonas can rev up the engine now. We've switched positions here. There we go. Analog style, basically analog digital style. And then look on the left side and look where the 40 and the 20, and they are turned around. This is a heritage design because it used to be that way in very old heritage Alfa models. So yeah, very cool touch to it overall. Hey, and if you don't like these retro gauges, you can also switch to the more modern ones like this, or to a reduced view. Well, the focus of this vehicle is being agile and fun in driving. Well, you see it also in the rear seats, because I'm not even sure if I can fit in there at all. Shall I try? Yeah, you know, it's a thing here on our channel, like almost a meme, to mark like Thomas in the rear seat with the time code, and yeah, and you guys have a laugh. Yeah, that is definitely closer with the competition. All the competition models are closed in the rear legroom, yes, in this segment, but this is even closer. And also this is a hard pack material at the back, so I have to squeeze myself in here, literally. Headroom barely works, but it's, yeah, I cannot lift my spine. It's somewhat okay, but yeah, there's hardly any space in the rear. You can see, at least when also tall people are driving. You got a USB-C charger here in the middle part, although, but the middle tunnel is also really, oh my God. So in the middle seat, yeah, maybe like 4 hobbits or something. With 480 liters, the trunk doesn't sound so small, but it's a little bit less usable than with the competitors. For example, here in the width is less than 1 meter or 40 inches. And also the length is indeed also a little bit less than 1 meter or 40 inches. There the competition is a little bit wider and longer. The height is comparable with, yeah, also here a little bit less than 50 centimeters or 19 inches. And you can fold the seats from here, at least unlock them, and then you have to push luggage through, but yeah, it's a little bit complicated, so it's better actually to go than around. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the Alfa Giulia facelift, 2-liter 4-cylinder Competizione, 280 horsepower. That turning indicator though, really? Is that also heritage scheme? Yeah, it's a weird sound, just weird, right? But I can promise you, everything we've criticized before can be evened out by the driving experience dynamic mode, and we also switch to the more modern instruments here now. 60 kilometers an hour, first acceleration, let's go. 100. So that was 60 to 100. Yeah, then went quite quick, and you can also use the shifting pedals, of course, to start and even in the lower gear directly. This is also possible, or go here to the manual mode and then use the big shifting lever. That is also possible. So really nice emotional features. So are you guys ready to accelerate from 100 kilometers an hour? Let's go. 130, 150, 170, and now decelerating again, hard on brakes. Wow, good feeling for the brakes. They have worked on the brake feel indeed, and for the brake performance with this facelift. Also, they have shredded some weight off the engine in the front, so some weight savings for even better balance. And indeed, this car has some serious balance indeed. So also lane change here at 1 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, super quick. The steering is, very sensitive, but it's also cool somehow. One more acceleration, let's go. 130, 150, 180, wind noise picking up. Now it's getting really loud in here. Whoa, at 200 kilometers an hour, here is a lot of wind noise. 125 miles an hour. So yeah, here at 160 or so, the car feels good as well. But at really high speeds, there are a lot of wind noise that you say oh, is something broken? Yeah, but the cool thing about this vehicle is you really feel this awesome balance indeed. So everything feels very well in the proportion and so on. And it feels so light. Also, if you compare it to the competitors, this one here indeed feels way lighter than the competitors. It feels shorter, it feels more compact, it feels more agile. I already feel it here right now. Of course, at higher speeds you have to see that you don't oversteer, reaction-wise. Have to keep that in check. But wow, I can already see this is so much fun to drive. And now in these winding corners, I feel once again the balance of the vehicle, 50-50 weight distribution, and it is so much fun to drive. I really have to say, yeah, this feels like a smaller vehicle handling-wise. That's very interesting. And the steering input also feels so natural. I don't have to steer too much. It's really progressive, feels really awesome. It doesn't feel too artificial indeed. So when the Giulia was originally launched, to me it felt too artificial. But then they fixed it with the model year before that even. So since a couple of years, the steering feedback is now better. And also on the Autobahn, it wasn't too bad that it was too sensitive. A little bit more sensitive maybe than others, but actually fine. And here now, I can really feel that vehicle. It is so drivable, so much fun. Wow. And these are also great roads to do that. You're also getting a little bit more altitude, still a little bit snow here, so therefore I can also expect some more slippery situations, maybe a little bit more careful than here, but wow. Also being held well in the seats. I really have to say also when you compare it to the Audi A4, BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, even the C-Class is now sportier in this new generation. Before that, the BMW was always the most aggressive one as for agile driving and so on. The Audi also with a great balance and really fun into the corners. But this one here, the Alfa Giulia, in this segment, I have to say, it is the most fun vehicle indeed. Wow, and that is something really astonishing to do, definitely. I mean, we have some things here, maybe the turning indicator sound or the quality of the rear view camera, where you say really? We don't have too much legroom there. The trunk is also worse in the capacity or in the usability than with the others. So the Germans are ahead in some respects each, definitely. The engine sound here is also nothing special at all. But then again, when you think about driving this one here and putting it into the corners, yeah, in that respect, the Alfa Giulia really leads the Germans. It is the ultimate fun machine in this segment. And the facelift, well, I would say it underpins this result and adds even more beauty on the exterior. We've seen that. Really nice, pretty impressed. So how good is it in comparison to the competition, the three Germans, Audi A4, BMW 3 Series and Mercedes C-Class? Let's start with the negative things. Fuel consumption is higher than with the competition. Rear view camera, for example, deals like this, yeah, definitely worse. So some of the infotainment stuff, definitely, and also less offering of space both in the rear seats and in the trunk. So, but then to the positive aspects. First of all, the driving fun is phenomenal. It is, to me, the most fun vehicle in this segment here to drive. It's just awesome. You feel connected to the vehicle. You can attack the corners. Has such a perfect balance. That's really beautiful. Performance is also there, engine-wise, definitely is somewhat between the other normal and the performance models. Then they have this big step to the quadrifoglio version, for example, but performance-wise, it's fine. Sound-wise from the engine, maybe not the best, but this is really all about the drive. Also, if you think about the steering input, really great, very precise. Could be comparable to the Audi, I would say. The Mercedes now in the new generation also has a good driving feeling, especially in combination with the rear axle steering. I really have to say the BMW falls off as for the steering feeling here in this segment comparison. The seating comfort here, I told you earlier, as for the sustainable materials, they lag behind here, but the seating comfort is also decent. It's also better than with the BMW. I feel the Audi is best than here, but the comfort was also quite okay here, and the C-Class also, I would say, comparable indeed. So overall, which one to pick then in this segment here? It is really about the concise focus, where the BMW has more the sporty approach. This one has too. For example, also the suspension is not uncomfortable, but rather set on a sporty note. Here the adaptive suspension, you can also vary a little bit, make it stiffer, make it more comfortable again. So I think it's good compromise because they also go in a sporty direction, but the BMW felt to me a little bit more aggressive, whereas the Alpha felt more balanced. The Audi more goes into the, hey, comfort and sportiness combination thing, and the Mercedes C-Class more into that comfort thing overall and tries to be more elegant and so on, more tech focused. So they all four have the individual focal point. Would I personally go for this one here? I would definitely consider it. And it's really a thing of, this is not the perfect vehicle, but it's perfect for having fun. That's the thing. Then you have to ask yourself, what is more important to you? I have to think about it and would really think about if the shortcomings are totally evened out by the driving fun. Think I have to drive a little bit further to find out.